The future of Super Smash Bros. Is still very much up in the air, but with the Switch 2 on the horizon, you have to wonder, what will Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo Switch 2 look like? That is, of course, assuming we even get one, because with the Switch 2's backwards compatibility, you can play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on this new system. That game really did feel like they were trying to present to us what they envisioned as the final form of this series. And the reveal of the final DLC character being Sora from Kingdom Hearts, who was the most requested character ever for this series, this felt like a grand finale. So why make a new Smash game when the Ultimate Smash game is already fully playable on the system? The problem with that, though, is that backwards compatibility has never stopped Nintendo from making a new Smash for whatever their latest console was before. Melee was playable on the Wii, but that didn't stop them from releasing Brawl, and then you could put Brawl in Melee's place for the Wii U, because then we got two Smash games in Smash for Wii U and Smash for 3DS. Plus, you could apply this to any other major Nintendo franchise, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, doesn't matter. Backwards compatibility is not going to stop them from putting a new game on the market. So I think it's a safe bet that we will get a new Smash game for the Switch 2. But the question is, how different will it be from Smash Ultimate? Assuming Sakurai is still on board, then perhaps Smash can grow even larger than it already is now. But if he's not, the series will probably have to have some cutbacks. While I'd love to believe that Smash could only grow larger with Sakurai remaining at the helm, he himself has said that he doubts that Smash will ever be bigger than it was on the Switch. He's basically said that it was a combination of the right people being in the right places at the right time that made Super Smash Bros. Ultimate the juggernaut that it ended up becoming. So if we do get a new Smash for the Switch 2, it's probably going to have a smaller roster, which may turn people off immediately, and many of them may choose to just stick to playing Smash Ultimate. Alright, so let's stop for a minute and analyze that scenario. Let's assume that the next Smash is going to have a smaller roster for sure, and people are upset and they decide not to buy it. How do you win those people back? I think the answer is actually pretty simple. You give them something that they've been asking for a while that we originally had and then you took away. A story mode. I know that Brawl is considered in general to be the worst of the Smash games, but I still think there's a lot of love for Subspace, and I think you could do a lot with a story mode if you incorporated more elements from the various Nintendo games that these characters come from. And the best way to do that would be to take some inspiration from Adventure Mode from Melee. Adventure Mode allows you to run through the Mushroom Kingdom as whichever character on the roster you're playing as, so it could be Link, Kirby, Ganondorf, the Ice Climbers. You're going to be stomping around Goombas and Koopas and trying to reach that flagpole at the end. Whereas in Brawl's Subspace Mode, all of these characters just seem to exist in this unified universe where there's no distinction as to where any of them come from. Imagine you have a brand new boss character that's going through all of the various Nintendo universes looking for the greatest sources of power that they can find. Maybe they want to get as many of the Mario power-ups as they can find. Maybe they want the Triforce from the Zelda world. Or maybe they even want the Mega Stones and Z-Rings and Evolution Stones from Pokemon. You could have it be revealed in this story that all of the various Nintendo power-ups, when combined, form the Smash Ball that allows players to use a final smash and unlock their ultimate power. I think that would be a great piece of lore for Smash, and it would explain why when certain Pokemon use their final smash, they Mega Evolve. And I would like to see something in this story that we haven't gotten from Smash ever before. Now, we've seen original characters for the Smash games made over the years, usually like the Fighting Polygon team, or the Crazy and Master Hands, or Taboo, and some of the other boss characters, but we've never actually gotten a new original playable character for Smash before. This isn't even an original concept either. When Jump Force was in development, Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama actually designed 4 original characters from that game that were not from the Dragon Ball universe. This is basically the same idea that birthed Kingdom Hearts. You take a bunch of Disney characters, put them in a game along with a bunch of Final Fantasy characters, and then you set some new characters in this world and have them all interact. Now, there is a downside to this approach, because if you fill the roster with a bunch of original characters that people aren't connected with already and maybe don't care for, then people are going to really start missing whatever characters there were in Ultimate that didn't make the cut for the new game. And who knows, maybe they'll like all of these new characters that get added to the roster. But if some of their favorites don't make the final cut, then they might just lose a few customers. I'd assume that Nintendo wants to keep as much of Smash Ultimate's roster intact as they possibly can, and only make cuts where they absolutely have to. But they're gonna have to have something to make up for that loss. Maybe it's a new story mode, maybe it's not, but whatever it is, it's gonna have to be good enough to convince people that a smaller roster doesn't necessarily equal a worse game. But let's say that Smash Ultimate truly is the final Smash game. Could they potentially just upgrade the game for the Switch 2, make a brand new version of that game, call it Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Plus, and just start releasing more Fighters Passes? That way you can convince people to buy a game that most Switch owners already own, and you don't have to come up with an entirely new game mode. But if they were going to do that, then they would have to bring over the entire Smash Ultimate roster to the new system, and maybe they can or can't do that. And sure, with Sora in the game already, then that leaves out the most anticipated character to be added, and the one character that people did not know if they would even be able to get. But there are still plenty of iconic characters to choose from that have never been in a Smash game ever. Alright, now let me throw you a curveball for something that I personally would really like to see. Super Mario 3D All-Stars was a letdown for some Nintendo fans because it was a very bare-bones release of 3 Mario games from the past. Despite that though, it was still an official release that allowed us to play Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy on the Switch. And in my opinion, that is a plus just all by itself. What I would like to see is something similar. A brand new collection for the Switch 2 featuring Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Not only would it make all of these games finally available on modern Nintendo hardware, especially for the Melee fans that refuse to stop playing this game, it would give them an official means to do so. Throw in good working online play for all 3 games, and Nintendo could rest easy at night knowing that some of those dirty, rotten emulators would finally be buying official releases of those games. You don't even have to change anything else about the games. Just throw in some decent bonus content and working online play, and I think people would eat a collection like this up. But what do you guys think? Do you want to see a new Super Smash Bros. Game for the Switch 2, or are you content to just play Smash Ultimate on it? What about my ideas that I threw out there? Would you be okay with having a Smash game with a smaller roster if you got brand new original characters and a story mode in it? Or would you rather they keep the roster and then just build on it and make a Smash Ultimate Plus? And what about my Super Smash Bros. All-Stars idea? Do you think that that would actually sell well, or do you think that people would rather stick with emulating those games? Thanks for watching this video, I really appreciate it. If you want to support my channel, then subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already, and be sure to hit that big thumbs up button. Now, I'm going to go play the original Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64 on Nintendo Switch Online. Oh wait, I can't because they haven't added that game to the service yet. Nintendo, do something about that.